Okay, well, thank you all for coming. Here is the day before Thanksgiving, and we are so grateful. We are so blessed. And all those who join us on this mission to help revive people from the myths that they've believed, and to be able to see and recognize the lifestyle changes that we could make to make things better in our lives. We're just so grateful that Dr. Wallach has started this mission, and his wonderful family has been able to take this to another level. And we're just so grateful that you're joining us here tonight, Dr. Wallach. And just like to thank you. Wish you a very happy Thanksgiving to you and your family. And welcome to the call.
Thank you. Is this the lovely Pam speaking?
This is Pam right here. Right there in that picture with Dave.
Yeah.
The white shirt, and I'm wearing the black shirt. Yeah.
Okay. Well, he's the only one with a beard.
Yes, I don't have a beard. Thank you, God. Thank you, Jesus.
Okay. Well, I want to start out by saying this is the reason why we formed an army 50 years ago, because when it comes down to events that are beyond individual control, you need an army to deal with it. And we're so grateful that so many people have joined us to help so many people with their health issues. There are no genetic health issues. There are no autoimmune health issues. They're all nutritional deficiencies. And this is very, very simple stuff. Okay. And these are times in which great things happen. When you look at all the great things that have happened, whether it's science or money or government, it's always happened when things were happening. And so when there's a challenge, and the people who are working and putting things together to help, these are the ones who benefit. Okay, because people are looking for help. They're looking for a path. They're looking for a principle. They're looking for an antidote. They're looking for something. Okay, so that it's one of those things where we have to make sure that everybody has the chance to not only survive, but to flourish. And again, the people who take responsibility and get out there and get the information out and make sure that everybody has access to the information and the program and the products, these are the ones who will break the norm. They will be the ones who do great things, okay? And when you look in history, there's always been some great event take place whenever there was some thing going on of major scale. Now, I want to remind everybody that we have programs for over 600 different diseases. We have 5,000 products. These 600 different diseases are all nutritional deficiency diseases, okay? And these are all things that doctors think, they mistakenly think that they're genetic or autoimmune. We're talking about Parkinson's disease, Alzheimer's disease. We're talking about Tourette syndrome, which I had for 5 years. You're looking at multiple sclerosis, Guillain-Barré syndrome. You're looking about lupus. You're looking at fibromyalgia, irritable bowel syndrome, Crohn's disease, celiac disease, diverticulitis, metabolic syndrome. Let's see here. We're looking at these things. All kinds of eye problems, dental problems, receding gums, infertility, birth defects of every kind you can think of. All of these are caused by nutritional deficiencies. And so now everybody's looking for something. There's so many small and medium-sized businesses, even big businesses shutting down. Prices are going up. People can't afford stuff. People's lives change because they can't afford stuff. People's lives change because they lose their jobs, because the companies are cutting back on employees because of expenses and so forth. And this is the time at which people are looking for something. And so we want to make sure that they know about us. And this is where the tools come in. And this is why we came up with tools. You know, we have let's see here. We have the www.drjwallach.com, www.drjwallach.com covers most of my books and CDs and DVDs. And then we do have a toll-free number, okay, for wellness publications, 1-800-755-4656, 1-800-755-4656. I make sure I got it right. Okay, toll-free. And we do have a new catalog, okay, a new educational catalog coming out in the next, I don't know, 10 days to 2 weeks with the new prices. Remember, the printing is more expensive today than it was 5 years ago and 10 years ago. So the new ones, the new issues are going to be a little pricier than from 5 years ago and 10 years ago. So if you've ever been contemplating buying books and CDs and DVDs to get tools into your family and your group, now's the time to do it, okay? If you buy 10 of any one title, you get a big discount additionally. And of course, there's basic things you need. Dead Doctors Don't Lie, of course, is sort of beginning, okay? Dead Doctors Don't Lie. Came out with a book, came out with a CD, the CDs in 9 languages. We've sold over 600 million copies, okay, of the CD, Dead Doctors Don't Lie. And then, of course, we have The Truth About Nutrition. We have the book, the CD, and the DVD, The Truth About Nutrition. It goes into the basic, what does nutrition do? Okay, why do you need to pay attention to nutrition? Why just you can't eat anything if it just fills you up and gives you energy? Well, that's because you need 90 essential nutrients to meet your body's needs. 90 essential nutrients. Let's just look at the COVID thing right now. Is COVID killed by the vaccination? No. Vaccines don't kill viruses, bacteria, fungus, or yeast. All the vaccines do is alert your immune system to the DNA in the bug. So when the bug shows up, your body says, there's the bad guy. And then it's your defenses, your white blood cells, your antibodies, your platelets, your red blood cells all have to go out there and kill and eat the bug. Vaccinations do not kill bugs of any kind. And this is why so many people who get vaccinated die, because they're eating gluten, they're taking vitamin C tablet, and that's it. They're missing 89 nutrients, and they're eating gluten, and so they couldn't even absorb the nutrients if they were taking them. And that's why people die when they get vaccinated, because vaccines are not designed to kill viruses, bacteria, fungus, or yeast. They're designed to alert your body to the bad guys. And then we have the book and the CD, It's All in Your Head. Okay, this one is going out the door like crazy. There's 37 different diseases you get when you have osteoporosis of the skull. Medical doctors know nothing about this. When people go to them and say, hey, what do you think about osteoporosis of the skull, doc? And the doctors start laughing. What nut are you talking to? Okay, there's no such thing as osteoporosis of the skull. They don't get taught that in school, because if people knew that you can prevent and cure osteoporosis of the skull with a nutritional formula, why not try that nutritional formula on osteoporosis of your bones and your hips and your knees? So you don't need a double knee replacement, double hip replacement. So you don't need back surgery. Okay. And doctors don't want you to know that. So they never talk about osteoporosis above your shoulders. Okay. And they never tell you that osteoporosis is a fixable thing. And so one picture I like is in page number 6, okay, in the front of the book. It's 2 skulls, 2 human skulls. The top one is a normal human skull. You can see the skull is a quarter of an inch thick. The bottom one is a human skull, but it has osteoporosis of the skull, and it's an inch thick. It's squeezing the 12 pairs of cranial nerves, it's squeezing the spinal cord, and getting all these diseases. Okay. Let me talk about some of them really quickly. And these are things that are preventable and reversible with proper nutrition. Okay, let's see here. Cranial nerve number 1, when it's squeezed, you lose your sense of smell. Okay, it's the olfactory nerve. cranial nerve number 2 being squeezed by the skull, you get optic nerve atrophy, ONA, and also you get glaucoma, pressure in the eye goes up, you get macular degeneration, that sensitive area in the back of the eye, all the cells that are very sensitive to light die. Macular degeneration, that's the macula, okay? Ptosis, so the pupil doesn't respond to daylight, that's the third cranial nerve being squeezed. Double vision and palsy, okay? Eye doesn't work right. And you're talking about fourth cranial nerve being squeezed, trigeminal nerve being squeezed as a fifth cranial nerve, terrible pain in the face. This is called trigeminal neuralgia, very, very painful. Okay. Then cranial nerve number 6 being squeezed by osteoporosis skull, you get double vision. Okay. And then cranial nerve number 7, you get Bell's palsy, your face droops on one side, depending on whether one cranial nerve 7 is being squeezed or both of them. Cranial nerve number 8, you get tinnitus, deafness, vertigo, balance problems called Meniere's disease when you have them all. Okay, it's cranial nerve number 8 being squeezed. Cranial nerve number 9, you lose the gag reflex, your sense of taste goes away, your ability to speak well, your voice changes, goes away. Cranial nerve number 10, you get A-FIB, atrial fibrillation. Your heart does really weird things, and your doctor wants you to believe it's a heart issue, so they talk you into letting them anesthetize. You cut your chest open, take your heart out, and take a branding iron and put it all over your heart. It's called ablation. They're trying to find the place that's making your heart do funny things, and it has the highest death rate of any medical treatment. Do not get ablation. Okay, it's just simple osteoporosis skull squeezing in the 10th cranial nerve. That same 10th cranial nerve goes all the way down to your stomach from your skull and causes extreme pain in your stomach. Your doctor says, "Oh, you have gastric ulcers." He hadn't even looked. But he says you have gastric ulcers because you have a terrible pain in your stomach because he's got a kid in college and tuition is due. Cranial nerve number 11 being squeezed. You get loss of trapezius muscle function, can't lift your arms above your head. Cranial nerve number 12 being squeezed, you get atrophy of the tongue, you lose your ability to speak. And so if you have cranial nerve number 9 and 12 being squeezed, you're real in trouble, you can't communicate. When the spinal cord gets squeezed coming out of the back of the skull, because your spinal cord is made in the brain. Babies are born with Erb's palsy, being squeezed by the skull. And they started calling it Wallach's fibrosis because nobody had ever heard of osteoporosis of the skull before squeezing the spinal cord. And one of my key questions I always ask people is, how many times a night do you wake up to urinate? Once, 3 times, 5 times, 10 times? Because when the skull is squeezing the spinal cord is telling your urinary bladder to urinate. You're getting up every hour, every 2 hours, or every 3 hours to urinate. Okay, it's telling me that your skull is squeezing your spinal cord. Okay, and so it's kind of crazy. But all these things will go away within weeks just by going after this as you would osteoporosis. And again, the formula for osteoporosis is in the book and the CD. Healthy Brain and Heart Pack, MSM, collagen peptides. Let's see here, Beyond OsteoFX, vitamin D3. You also want to take the Synaptive. You want to take Memory FX. Eat 3 eggs twice a day. Eat 3 eggs twice a day with soft yolks. Each egg is equal to eating a chicken. I eat 3 eggs twice a day, so I eat 6 chickens a day. The chick itself is that little white spot on top of the yolk. So you pull that off and throw that away. And the egg is organic, okay? It doesn't have any meat or anything like that in it. It's all nutrition. You need that nutrition. You need that cholesterol for your brain. So you don't get Alzheimer's disease. You don't get Parkinson's disease. You don't get MS. You don't get things like Guillain-Barré syndrome and so forth. And so this is not difficult. All right. You have to make sure that you know what's going on here, and you will be pleasantly surprised. You will get better. And you take that information to people, and it's economical. And when they do this, they say, look, you need to let everybody know in your church. You need to know everybody know in your family, your workplace. Let's get this information out there. And guess what? You'll build a huge army, and your check will just go and go right up. I have people who've been with me 32, 40 years. They're high school graduates. They make more money every month than most general practitioner, medical doctor, okay? Because they're seeing thousands of patients per month because they use the tools. They get those CDs out there, they get the DVDs out there, they get the books out there. And if you do that and get them going on a program appropriate for what their issues are, on top of the 90, everybody needs a 90. You just can't take the secret sauce. Everybody wants to know, well, what nutrient is it? Because they just want to go get vitamin C and take it and cure everything. Well, it doesn't work that way. Okay, you have to take the 90, and then we have secret sauces. For instance, if you have memory problems, in addition to, you know, getting rid of all the bad foods, no fried foods, no processed meats, no oil, no glutens, no wheat, no brown rice, oats, no buckwheat, no sugar, and no carbonated drinks, all that's got to go, even the diet ones. And in addition to all that, we have memory FX, we have synaptive, don't forget the 3 eggs twice a day. And all these things in the brain, including Alzheimer's disease, MS, Guillain-Barré syndrome, Parkinson's disease, they all go away. But if you just take the secret sauce, you're not going to get anywhere. You need to do the whole picture, okay? And so this is why we have an army to teach people what to do, how to save themselves, how to save their family, how to save their community, how to save their relatives. And the nice thing about this is your business. And so when you build a longevity business, when you pass on in your will or a letter, you have it stapled to your will, you want to leave this to your kids, you want to leave your longevity business to your spouse, to your church, whoever you want to leave it to, so it doesn't just die. Okay, and so you want to start teaching people, and you're going to choose who you're going to leave it to, because you're going to choose somebody who's really working at this and helping people. You're not going to leave it to somebody who's not interested. Okay, you got to leave it to somebody who is really working it hard and is going to carry on what you started. All right, now with all that said, I'm going to go ahead and pass it over to you guys and let you either ask me some questions or whatever. Okay, go for it.
Okay, I do not see any hands raised. So, and we are just so grateful that you are giving us all this information. And I'll tell you, the books, if everybody would just get one book a month, okay, it is going to change your life. It will change your life. And if you know somebody that has a book, ask them for a book. And if you don't have it or don't have it, which is totally unbelievable, you can go to www.drjwallach.com to get those resources that you need to have at your home. And Dr. Wallach, I think that, you know, what you said is so true about the nutritional deficiencies, and we're lacking that. And when all of this pandemic and all the horrible stuff has happened, you know, people were not even going to stores anymore and getting the foods that they needed just to help everything go together. And when you say that they can't go out to get the secret sauce or special sauces because they are not put together with the cofactors that you have put together, so they work, I don't know if synergistically is the correct.
Yeah, you need a basic 90.
Mm-hmm.
If you just try to take the secret sauce only, it's kind of like putting dirt from Texas in your car instead of oil. Come on, there's bound to be some oil in that. That's dirt from Texas. People treat their car better than they treat themselves.
Yes. And so if you were to just get the EFAs that they need, okay, do you know if those EFAs are the 3 or the 6? And if you don't have Dr. Wallach's books and if you don't have a bachelor's degree or master's degree in biology and science to know how to make everything work together, it's a lot of juggling. And you're talking micrograms of things. So it is a lot of work. And you have to keep out those things in that bad food list. And what are they, Doc?
Fried foods, processed meats, you know, like bacon, ham, deli slices, bologna, salami, that kind of stuff. You need to stay away from cooking oils, and also, let's see here, salad dressings, got to stay away from them. And then you have to stay away from gluten, no wheat, no barley, rye, oats, and no buckwheat. The gluten in buckwheat is called phagopyrins. Okay, it's a different name, but it still does the same thing to your intestines that gluten does. And don't just say, well, I'll just eat gluten once a week. Well, it'll just kill you in 5 years instead of 6 months. Okay, it's still going to kill you. Okay, you can't do that. And so that's very, very important to stay away from those things. And then no sugar. Absolutely no sugar. Absolutely no carbonated drinks. Even the diet ones got to go because carbonation neutralizes stomach acid, which is required to absorb minerals and digest food. And then on top of all that, you need to take your 90. Okay, you need to take your 90 in addition to staying away from all the bad stuff. And this is a learning process. And so, I mean, we've been working on the good food, bad food lists for over 50 years. And this is very, very essential to making everything work. Because if you can't absorb the good things, then they're not good things. They're just something that goes in this end, goes out the other end. It's imperative that you are able to absorb them efficiently, and then you'll be able to prevent and reverse these diseases. That's why we have such a great record of preventing and reversing diseases. And it's very, very simple. Again, the age record, okay, in France, okay, the age record is in France. It's one of our things that we pay attention to is ages and life expectancies and so forth. Jean Calment from France, she died in 1997 at age 122 years and 164 days. Now, she's really 123 because when you're born, you're already 9 months old. When you're born, you're already 9 months old. Your aging doesn't start when you're born. Your aging started when the sperm fertilized the egg, okay? And so we'll give her credit for another 9 months, and so she's really 123. Okay, so don't forget the book Hell's Kitchen. It goes from the transition from wood and coal as fuel and using the wood ashes and coal ashes as a supplement source for minerals, for electricity, where there's no ashes, no minerals anymore. Let's see here, immortality. There's a 5-year study where we went to places where people lived a long time and talked to long-lived families, what it is that they consciously avoided and what it is they consciously did. They had 25 to 50 healthy years of their life. All that information is in this book. There's a CD that goes along with it. The book Epigenetics. This book is a summary of my thesis that I did in a $20,000 autopsy on a $25 million grant from NIH. It was gotten by use of my first scientific publication published in veterinary journals. Okay, it was on a mass die-off from pollution. Okay, 500 died in one night from pollution. And so I wrote it up, got it published in veterinary journals. And Marlon Perkins, who I had worked for as a kid in college at the St. Louis Zoo, he took when I was in Africa working on the White Rhino Conservation Project, which was very successful, by the way. There's only 350 left when I started, and today there's 21,000 now based on the wild animal parks that we built and all the systems that we put in place for their survival. At any rate, while I was off in Africa, he took my paper, which was published, and got this $25 million grant from NIH. And the thesis was sold for $25,000 each. Now, the average person couldn't afford that. So we took a summary of the $25,000 thesis, put it into a book, covers all the territory, and they sell for 25 bucks. It's a lot cheaper than 25,000, 25 bucks. And this goes into all these diseases that kill off people in the industrialized world because they're eating badly and not taking all the 90 essential nutrients. And so those are just 3 or 4 of them. We have 21 right now. We have 4 more coming. We have a new CD set with 10 CDs. Each CD is a different disease. Pharmacist Keith and myself are putting that one together. It's all printed and ready to go. We're just working on the labels and the shipping containers for them. So within probably a couple of weeks to a month, that 10 CD set will be out. And we're talking about diabetes, arthritis, high blood pressure, heart disease, things like gastrointestinal stuff, like irritable bowel syndrome, that kind of stuff. And so this is a tool that every family needs. And they can have a little meeting like every Tuesday night and listen to one CD kind of thing together and ask questions and so forth. And don't forget the books. This is going to change how families and communities add 25 to 50 healthy years to their life. I'm so excited about this. Back to you.
Well, we're excited too. And we are totally blessed to have you, do this, just short introduction for our team for 30 minutes every Wednesday. And especially right now before Thanksgiving, we're truly grateful to you, Doc. If there's anybody to ask any questions, I'd like you to ask them right now. Just unmute and go right ahead. Or thank Dr. Wallach for all he's done.
Dr. Wallach?
Yes.
Hello.
Hello.
Could you just speak for a moment on your thoughts on autism, please?
Okay. Yeah, autism, of course, is one of those things where the brain in the growing child is not getting the nutrition it needs. They're eating oatmeal for breakfast, and they're eating Wheaties for breakfast, and they're having toast for breakfast, and they're having waffles for breakfast. You're getting the picture. You're getting gluten. And even if they're taking baby vitamins or something like that, they're not getting much absorbed because the intestines are changing. Instead of your intestines looking like a shag rug, your intestines look like a plastic tube. Okay, so you're losing 90% of your absorptive surface. So we do have, depending on the age of the kid, we do have a product called Kids Toddy. I like to add to it, it's a liquid. The dosage chart is on the back part of the label. We also like to use the same dosage chart for, say, Cherry Mints, which has the 75 plant minerals. And then don't forget the EFAs and EFA pluses. Okay, they can either chew them up and swallow them, or you can puncture this one EFA and one EFA plus and squeeze it in the liquid. And if they're old, if they're a teenager, okay, like 8, 10, 12 years old kind of thing, preteen, they can use the Healthy Brain and Heart Pack. They can take the Synaptive, which will help. They need 3 eggs a day when they're that age. Adults need 3 eggs twice a day. They need them scrambled in butter, soft scrambled, not hard scrambled, not hard boiled, not fried. They can have them poached. That's how I like mine, poached in the morning, or either soft scrambled in butter. You need that cholesterol for the brain. We also have, in addition to Synaptive, we have Memory FX, and that goes along with the 90, some form of the 90, depending on their age. Whether it's going to be the Kids Toddy or the Healthy Brain and Heart Pack. Okay, and so that will take care of it. It will. I mean, I had Tourette syndrome for 5 years. My parents took me to 20 different doctors, and they couldn't figure it out. I figured it out because they were going to put me in a nursing home already. I was already only 9 years old. I was totally functionless. Okay, and so I figured it out. I started taking animal supplements for breakfast on Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. By Monday afternoon, 3 days later, after I started on these animal supplements, I was cured. After 5 years, and 20 doctors couldn't fix me because they were trying to, send me to psychiatrists and all this kind of stuff, and nerve medicines and prescriptions and so forth. But it was just a nutritional deficiency. And so these sort of things, when you're talking about things going on in a kid's brain, it could be Tourette syndrome, it could be every kind of thing you can think of. Okay, And it'll go away if they're able to absorb the nutrition. But you got to get rid of all the bad stuff. No wheat, brown, rye, oats, and no buckwheat. No fried foods, no sugar, no carbonated drinks. Even the diet ones got to go. And we do have Rebound or sports drink. We have sticks, 30 sticks in a box, no carbonation in them. We have 36 servings in a canister, it's powder. And then we have 12-ounce cans, which are carbonated in a case. And I pop the tops on 2 of them every night before I go to bed, put them in the refrigerator. So they off-gas the carbonation all night. So in the morning, they're flat. All the bubbly is gone. So I'll have one with breakfast. And I'll have one at either lunch or 2 hours after lunch. Okay. So they don't have to have a boring life. They can have, I'm going to end with this story. I'll end with a 2-minute story. And that is, yeah, there'll be perfect timing. Okay. I apologize for going 2 minutes over. This is one of those things where you have to appreciate that you need the 90 essential nutrients in your brain. Okay. And you need to be taking all 90 essential nutrients. When you do that, you will be able to function perfectly. And I just want you to be sure that you're taking all 90 essential nutrients and stay away from all the bad stuff, and all the confusion will go away. Okay. So I hope that helps you out.
Hey, Doc.
Yeah.
Hi, Doc.
Yes, sir.
I have a friend on the line with me on my phone here who's a political prisoner locked up in Napa State Hospital in California, and he's got a question for you.
Okay.
Ron, go ahead.
Hi there, and I appreciate the opportunity to get to hear you. It's the first time I've heard your voice and share anything personally. I appreciate the time, energy, and effort, and all the struggle and trial and tribulation you must have went through just to get here to this moment.
Okay. Now,
so,
are you truly in a psychiatric ward?
it's a state hospital.
State hospital. Okay. So how can I help you? What's going on?
I've been placed here with 2 words. I've been found guilty without a trial by jury on 2 words. Those 2 words are called found incompetent, because I raised the question: what is your jurisdiction to a crime so-called charge with no
Okay.
injured party, no damage to property, no
Okay. Well,
victim.
let me. Okay. Go ahead.
Been locked up for 5 months now, plus going on 6 within the first 30 days, and I'm a pretty strict guy. Dave's done a great job with great work with coaching me, getting me lined out, telling me some things I already knew and was just dragging my feet on, but he pushed me over the hump on many of the things I knew I needed to do. I was told once by an old man in the year 2000, he said I needed to quit eating meat, and
Barley, rye, and oats.
some,
You have to stay away from wheat,
Yeah.
barley, rye, and oats, and buckwheat, and fried foods.
He was famous for the Freedom Calendar.
Okay.
I wish I
Okay.
could come up with his name right now.
Okay,
I apologize.
here's the deal. Here's the deal.
So let me tell you what my problem is. So I come to this prison, and within 30 days, well, they got me. They put me on a bread and water diet. Basically, everything was wheat.
Mm-hmm.
I told them I'm a gluten-free kosher diet. So they wouldn't believe me. They wouldn't work with me. So they're trying to nibble on whatever I could that wasn't wheat. Things like so-called peanut butter, and occasionally there'd be an orange. I lost 35 pounds within 14 days. Then in the 30th day, my feet swelled up the size of basketballs. That never happened to me in life. And prior to that, I've been using Dave's Minerals, and you can tell how much I was purchasing. I spent probably close to $3,000 in less than 2 months.
Okay. Do you have a lawyer?
Pardon me?
Do you have a lawyer?
Can I have a liar?
A lawyer.
No. A lawyer. Is that what you said?
Yes. Do you have a lawyer?
Doc, Ron's on a payphone, so I'm sure he can't hear very well, but they would not allow him to speak with his public defender. They never contacted him from June 22nd until now. He's never spoken with his
Okay,
public
here's what we need to do.
defender.
Okay, here's what we need to do. Dave,
But,
we
I
need to, I
Ron,
need to
Ron,
have
let
a,
him
stop,
talk.
stop.
Ron,
okay, I'm shut up. I'm silent.
go
Okay.
ahead, Doc.
We need to, get with his lawyer, okay? And do a
Okay.
conference call. Dave and me and the lawyer, we need to talk with them.
Okay,
Okay, and we'll be able to give him enough information. He should be able to get you out of there.
okay. Now, Doc, is there anything he can do while he's in that hospital? You know, he's not getting any nutrition, obviously, and the food's horrible. What can he do to help bring the swelling down
Okay, so
in his
will
feet?
they allow somebody, to bring him food?
No.
Okay, you better contact his lawyer fast,
Okay.
because he can die of a, he
Here's
can die of a stroke.
the problem. Okay, when I went in and went before the first sham video, there was no appointed counsel to the case. It wasn't until after I spoke asking the question, what is your jurisdiction? She says, oh, you're one of those. We'll put you on a list for the state hospital and we'll appoint an attorney to the case. Well, that attorney never spoke to me in over 4.5 months. Then on 3 or 4 sham video, I was allowed to speak for 30 seconds. I said, because the attorney, the appointment said that it was said by the magistrate that I was unwilling to.
Ron,
Stop.
Ron,
You need to get somebody in your family, a friend, somebody to get you an attorney who's going to listen to Dave and me. Okay, because they're going to have to go, because nobody's going to listen to you. They've already showed they're not going to listen to you. So they need to go to a court to get a court order to change. Otherwise, you're going to starve to death or get a stroke and die of a stroke here in the next couple of days. You got to get us an attorney that we can talk to, who can go to a court and get an order to get you out of there, get you on some food.
What city is he in?
Otherwise, yeah, that's what
Napa.
you got to do. Otherwise, you're on
Napa,
you're on a
California.
path- You're on a path to death if you don't. That attorney's not dumb.
Well, they forced a COVID test on me last Thursday. Handcuffed and tied to a chair.
Okay,
2 goons
okay.
stuck it up my nose, and I've been side
Okay.
effects and
I
due to the cold
apologize, but
temperatures in
we're
here.
just
Blah blah
wasting-
blah blah blah.
Okay.
Okay, Ron.
Dave, you know what needs to be done? He needs to get an attorney who will go to a court and get a court order to end this madness and get him some food immediately. Okay,
Okay, Doc. Thank you so much.
you bet. God bless.
Happy
I'm
Thanksgiving
waiting,
to
I'm
you
waiting to hear,
and
I'm waiting to hear how fast you get this attorney to save this guy.
okay.
God bless everybody.
We love you, Doc.
Thank you
Thank
so
We
much,
love you
Doc.
Happy
too.
Thanksgiving. Happy
Happy
Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving,
Love you.
everybody. Bye-bye.
Happy
Bye.
Thanksgiving, Doctor.
Bye-bye. Thanks,
Bye-bye.
Doc.
Bye, Doc.
Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Have a nice holiday.
You too.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.